Tuesday, August 22nd. No better place to be than right here, right now on the Late Night at Campus. I'm your host, Donnie Rightside, with my partner in crime, the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau. Huge Major League Baseball card to go over. Not looking so good on my end. Looking even better, though, on big man's end. Some good guests coming up tonight. Matt Holt from CG Technologies will be with us. We'll talk a little bit of fight action. We'll talk about some line movement. Big trade in the NBA. What's good, big man?
Hello, Donnie. How are you?
Doing good, man. No complaints. How about yourself over there?
Doing pretty good. Hopefully getting a winner here. Hopefully. We're sitting on a push right now. If I don't hit this, I'll quit betting forever. Honestly. I'm sitting on 9/9 Mets, Arizona. There's no one on, no one out. Man on second and third, no outs. If I don't hit this, I'm done. I'm done.
How about just a sacrifice bunt to score the run and give up an out? Would you take that, Jeff?
Oh, I would take I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. They'll like fucking walk this guy and then a double play and then a strikeout or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, if I lose this, it'll be sick. But
yeah, even if they did turn a double play, though, they still would go what, second to third and flip it that way, right?
Yeah, I mean it's hard to believe losing this, but again, I've seen it all in baseball, so I'm not going to say anything till it's over.
No, we'll watch it as it goes on. 0-1 count, second and third. Nobody out there, 7-2. We'll see what happens. I'm just watching this San Diego-St. Louis game. Yadier Molina home run, 4-4 as that game heads down the stretch. But we'll see what comes in on this one. But big card, as I said tonight, in Major League Baseball action. But we'll cheer this one in, big man. Hopefully we can just put one in play here and we can get this game over with. So let's see what happens here. This is live in the bet box right here, Jeff.
Yeah, Brandon Nimmo on, a guy that really has no business at the major league level, but he's up because the Mets have like traded their whole team away. Again, this would be a really bad, like, it's not a loss because I pushed, but I mean, not winning this would be brutal. I mean, really bad. I mean, you would agree, right?
No, I would agree. And we'll see a strikeout there by Nimmo. So one down. Jeff, come on, man. We're going to get – we don't even need a base hit. We don't even need a base hit, right?
Let's just talk about something else. I don't want to – I don't like –
Go ahead, man. Good. Let's break up the karma there. Start talking about something else. Get this going for you.
Welcome in to everyone out there listening. As always, Guan White, Juan Whitaker, Young Jeezy Robinson, Marco Liu, everyone, all the regulars, welcome in. Austin Ertl, welcome. Young Jeezy Jarvis, welcome all of you. Everyone, it is a fine night to be alive tonight. Donnie, we'll talk about what do we have? We got Matt Holt joining us from CG Technology. The much talked about Matt Holt. We'll talk about the Floyd Mayweather Jr., Conor McGregor camaraderie, the fight going on this weekend. We'll also discuss some college football and NFL with Matt Holt. Also looking forward to talking about the big blockbuster trade, Donnie, that went down tonight in the NBA. How about that?
Yeah, the good part about that is we can set it up pretty good for Matt. If a lot of you guys don't know him or didn't see the IFBC down in Costa Rica, I mean, he is an odds maker. That's what he does. Very personable guy. Glad we're able to steal him. Actually came on the chat box this morning for us for the right side of campus. So we're going to ask him some questions. You know, we won't go over, hey, Matt, you know, where did you go to high school? Where did you go to college at? We want to get right to the nuts and bolts of it and see why lines move, who makes the lines, and really get into it. And the best part about it, Jeff, having a live show, chat box is going to be engaged out there. Feel free to ask away when Matt gets on. I mean, this is what he does for a living, and why not have the odds maker here in your back pocket, so to speak, right, Jeff?
Yeah, and we'll get him on. I'm looking forward to chat with him around 10:30. We'll go over the Kyrie trade around then. I know he has some stuff to say on that. Plenty to do here. Looking forward to doing that. Donnie, you know, I do have a bone to pick with SBR for one thing.
Okay.
What's this deal about an SBR fantasy league? We didn't even get an invite. I guess they're too good to join our league.
We're up in the Northeast. They don't pay us any money.
I guess they're just too good to join our league. They got to get their own league, which is fine. We'll do our own league. We have no problem doing that. So Zach and Matt and Drew and all of you, have fun in your own league. We're looking forward to our own fantasy league.
Enjoy, yeah.
See, Drew Martin doesn't even know about it. Wow. What is up with this little code of brotherhood down there? Zach and Matt are the only ones who know about this fantasy league. Everyone else is my local's MIA today. Oh, well, that's not good.
Drew Martin in the pool in Las Vegas getting interviews done there. How about that, Jeff?
Yeah, riveting, sharp information there from those two honey babies. Yep. I wonder if they just picked who they liked better and looked better.
Floyd.
Yeah,
actually, it was Connor, right? Yeah, I think they went after Connor in that one.
All the Nimrods coming out to bet on Conor McGregor. But No, Drew Martin, the only I guess, yeah, I don't remember hearing about this call. I was on this call. I was left out. But we'll do our own fantasy league, Donnie, which is
Yeah.
fun. Let's go over baseball, Donnie. What do we have on the card today?
Yeah, let's take a look here. Two games that have not gotten underway. Milwaukee, San Francisco, Texas, and the Los Angeles Angels. Those about the tip ball. First pitch there. Looks like closing line at Chris in the Milwaukee game. They're going to be a minus 115 favorite. If we take a look at Nolasco, Jeff, steamed up to 166 in that game from an opening line right around 129, 130 in that area. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I kind of like San Francisco in this late game here. As far as Angels, Texas, I mentioned earlier, over looks like a good play here. I know it seems square, but Tyson Ross has just been terrible. It's hard to imagine that we don't see some runs in this game. A lot of these overs that have looked pretty good have come in. I mean, and we'll talk about those in a little. Donnie, I'm telling you, somehow I'm
not. You got the winner, baby. 7-3. Game over. You got
really?
it. Yeah. Yep,
oh, my God. Thank God.
Ground ball to shortstop. Guy just walked home. I mean, that's the way it is. Huh?
Exactly what we wanted. I was going to say, if I lose that, that's just disgusting. Thank God. Donnie, let's go over some other ones here. Some games.
Yeah, finished. The Toronto and Tampa Bay finished up, Jeff. 6-5 final. Their heavy favorite closing at Chris at minus 213 for Archer, but he does pull it out at home. Over covers easily as it looks like it closed at 8, and obviously they got 11 runs in that one, so pretty simple on that.
Yeah, Raleigh didn't have much in this one. 3 1/3, give up 4 runs and 5 hits. This is the road effect, Donnie, unfortunately. You went on the road and got touched up, didn't go deep into the game. But another very good outing from their bullpen. They've had to put in these positions several times this year, a lot of times this year, and their bullpen's been pretty good. So, yeah, look, Archer was very good tonight. Bullpen cleaned it up, and, yeah, a nice win for Tampa Bay. They need to win games like this. I mean, they're still hanging around in the wild card. Got to win games like this against bad teams.
Yeah, Jeff, and it looks like the Mets cashed in again, so maybe making maybe a Rodney appearance going to have to be called in here in the bottom of the 9th inning. We'll see how that plays out. Going to some other games that closed early, Jeff, Straley and Nola, 12-8 final, 20 runs scored in that ball game. Over/under was at 9. So is that, Nola, Straley, two guys that were having good years, hot weather in Philadelphia, small ballpark, ball was flying out of there, and obviously 20 runs scored in the final there. Yeah,
this was a high-scoring game. Big 7th inning for the Marlins. I was doing a football breakdown with Drew Martin, and it was like 6-5 at one point, and then I look back, it's 12-5. Bullpen got Ricardo Pinto, Theron, Nola. Nola was terrible today. 6 1/3, give up 7 earned runs. And it looks like, early on, we still have a little bit of time to go here. I believe the Phillies have lost the second game as well. No, they are losing.
6-4. I believe it was 6-0 at one point.
Yeah, they're coming back a little bit.
Calling back in this one. So we'll see how that game ends up. But again, if you're betting the Phillies, not too much to look forward to in that one. Let's check a look at some other games which are a little bit farther down. Again, we just talked about the New York Mets 7-4 now in the bottom of the 9th inning, 6-4 in the Phillies game. And the Dodgers and Pittsburgh, which again, I'm on like an idiot, the full game Pittsburgh game here. They pushed after 5, but after 3 innings, the Dodgers I liked Houston, for a couple months there and just, seeing what they can do and the type of offense they can provide when healthy, getting good starting pitching. But let me just put this on record right now. And it's not even going out on the limb. Jeff, nobody is beating the Los Angeles Dodgers in October, November, whatever it is. Nobody.
I can't see a situation where anyone does. They're just destined to win. Everything goes their way. You can't beat them. Betting against them is like, betting on God and betting against God. It's stupid to do. They just don't lose. They're like 90 and 35. They're going to win 110 games. It's just they have everything. And Donnie, this is what I've talked about. I said it months ago. They're the most complete team in baseball. Every other team has a flaw. They're the only ones that don't. They have a great bullpen. They have fantastic – and they're doing all this without Kershaw, their best pitcher. Yeah. They have a great lineup. They went out and filled little holes and little shit like getting Curtis Granderson. Is he a great player?
No.
I'm not going to say he still is. No. But he's a veteran presence in the locker room that you love to have on your team. He's going to do little things like hit grand slams to win you games that he had no business winning. They're a square bet. They're like the Patriots this year. And I feel good because I've for most of the year been on this team. We've been on this team. We've talked about this so many times. So yeah, but again, it's all going to be. This is very Warriors-esque, Donnie, isn't it? I mean, you roll through the season. If you get to the playoffs and don't win anything, well, it's all for nothing, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you look at like different components of teams. They go and put like just a spot starter on the mound today. He gets absolutely lit up by the third inning, gives up 5 earned runs. So the Dodgers go to their bullpen where it's one of those things that it feels like an all-star game in a way for the Dodgers, Jeff, where everybody they run out of the bullpen is a legitimate arm. Like they could have fun in like October. Let's just say everybody gets 1 inning. They're so deep in their bullpen that they can dominate and give each pitcher 1 inning and probably clean your clock.
Yeah, no, they're amazing, man. And when we get Matt on, I'd like to ask him about this. I mean, he's probably asleep over the Dodgers, I'm sure. They've not been good to bookmakers for sure. Dodgers are for squares. I'm too smart for them. Trollmore making another appearance. Thank you for listening. By the way, Donnie, did you see we got 130 dislikes? Did you see that this morning? Got another dislike.
We got one right now, so we got a little ways to go there for us.
Yeah, hopefully they continue to come in. Keep the dislikes coming. I'll keep the likes coming from all of our good people. San Jose State versus USF. Let's go, Jeff. Go Spartans. Drew Martin, what are you doing? Not what you were saying earlier. You were on the other side earlier. You're switching things, Drew. We'll be on with Drew tomorrow at the round table. Lots to talk about tomorrow on the round table, Donnie. We got NC. We got what do we got? NFC South. We got a little independent action going on. Notre Dame, Army, BYU. How about that?
Yeah, no, should be interesting tomorrow. And again, I finally got the update, so I'll be able to study up tomorrow morning, hit that NFL action. Again, yeah, we'll go over some of the other things in college football's finer points as well.
Yeah. But, Donnie, what else do we have in baseball? Let's finish this out.
Let's see what else we got here. The Cincinnati Reds had 2 leads in this game, but that's no longer the case.
What a surprise.
8-6 late. Yeah, exactly. You come back late there. Baltimore and Oakland, 6-4, hanging on for dear life. We'll see if Oakland can close this ball game out. Boston and Cleveland, Jeff, 6-1. Boston, again, last night I was on Boston, took the loss in the bottom of the 9th. So, of course, today they come back with a nice, clean, easy 6-1 game. It's not over yet, but 6-1 as the current score there. New York Yankees, Jeff. Tanaka talked about this game early, 11-3. I thought it would be a get-right game for the offense going against a roughed-up Boyd, the lefty on the mound, but they beat him up early and often, 11-3 in that one. Line was a little bit too high for me to bite on, closed at 192 on the road, but clearly, Yankees with a side here.
Yeah, Tanaka had a nice game tonight. Boyd got crushed, which no one's surprised by. But I want to go back to what you were talking about with the Reds. I've tried to research it. It's obviously very difficult. It would take a long time to research. But how many leads have, like, in every game they've had the lead, how many games have the Reds blown, like, as far as leads? I mean, they've blown so many leads. Like, it
seems like I keep on seeing, like, every time Lorenzen comes in from the bullpen, it just gets absolutely shelled. But, yeah, and it's one of those games where it's almost like they just get bled to death out there because you can see it coming. Man on first, man on second, every inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Eventually, you're going to end up getting burned here. Just a quick update as well. San Diego retakes the lead in the top of the 7th in St. Louis as a nice underdog. Let's see what they actually closed at
I also wanted to remind everyone, you laid 160 with John Lackey. Just remember that. So, great call. I mean, you actually laid 160 with John Lackey, and hey, I guess you got to do shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Again, not smart. What do we have here? We also Houston and Washington have just stopped scoring all of a sudden. They were scoring every inning. Now it's Tanner Roark's just dominating. I have another over here. Hopefully we can get a little help here. A tie would be beautiful. That way I can't lose and I can only push. This is my other play tonight, so hopefully we see a couple more runs here. But the over came in easily in that Reds game tonight. 10.5. I think we both mentioned that earlier. Boston, surprised. I think they've been the surprising team of the night. And, Donnie, I want to continue to point this out.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it seem like every time Carrasco pitches, they lose? Like,
yeah, it's funny. Like, you look at his numbers and you like his numbers.
Yeah, it's like
electric stuff, but you're right about that. Yeah.
But it's like, when does he put those numbers up? Because every time I see him pitch, he gets crushed, it seems like.
It's like our Cole Hamels theory. Like, we say, he's struggling. Then you look at his numbers and he's got like a 1 ERA.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it when he like performs this stuff. It's like these are his numbers from last year. But where are we going here?
Yeah, interesting. Like taking a look at it, I've been riding the train. The 4 weeks out of the All-Star break treated me very good. Last week I did lose 2 units. This week I'm looking at staring an 0-5 right in the face through 2 days. So last week I dug myself an 0-4 hole, worked it all the way back, almost got back to even and a little bit plus. Couldn't do it. I'm going to be in the hole again to start this week, but sometimes you have to flip-flop and go back and forth on a few things. Looking today at the games, Jeff, I mean, obviously I'm on Pittsburgh today, which was an underdog. Theoretically, 35%, 51%. The favorites winning that in the Dodgers game. If you look at both Miami games with the Phillies, even though it looks like actually, no, a little bit. I take that one back. Nola did close a favorite in that one. But again, 62% of the side was on Miami. So theoretically, most of the public was winning that one. Second one again with Urania, 71% on that. They have a 6-4 lead. If we look at the Chicago Cubs, Jeff, 78% back to Cubs. They have the lead. An interesting one, though, that St. Louis game at home, 82% are on the home team. That's 5-4, so still a close one. You might be getting a dog winner here in Oakland, depending on how that turns out. Boston looks like they may pull off a nice dog game, but heavy favorite on the road again with the Yankees. Another favorite on the road, Minnesota. They're winning. What else we have here?
What I think I can say, Donnie, is you really suck. I mean, 0-5. I mean, what kind of loser are you?
I know. And you know what the shame of it, Jeff, is? The worst part about it is I'm documented, so I can't even hide the 0-5.
Yeah,
you know?
0-5.
I can't erase it anywhere.
You're not any good. I mean, you need to pick it up. Kraska worked versus Boston last time, but yeah, they did. Yep. Good point. That was that crazy game. Remember, what was it, like 12-10 or whatever?
Yeah, how about Fister again tonight, Jeff, with dealing? He dealt last week versus Cleveland as well.
Yeah, well, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, he's finally starting to find himself. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But we're just waiting for Matt Holt to join. I told him to join a little early here. So we'll look forward to him joining. We'll get into the Kyrie Irving because, I think at this point, Donnie, I'm kind of baseballed out. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm baseballed out until I win my money back. How about that from this?
Even winning, like I win today, and it's like, well, whatever. Who cares? I'm kind of over it. Matt Holt joining us live. CG Sports. Matt, welcome in.
Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing just great. Good to see you.
Absolutely.
We got so much to talk about. Before we get into it, Matt, remind everyone who you are.
Yes.
I'm the Chief Operating Officer of CG Analytics and the Vice President of Business Development for CG Technology, the largest licensed sportsbook operator in the state of Nevada and thus the United States.
Before we get into it, Matt, and we'll get into plenty, Kyrie Irving and the fight this weekend. I got to ask, what's it like out there right now? It's got to be pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome. I'll tell you, I moved here the day after I graduated in college, and one thing has remained the same over the last 15 years, and that's nothing beats a big fight atmosphere here in Las Vegas.
Sure. I often hope one day I can get out there to see it. Matt, let's get into Kyrie Irving before we get into anything else, because I do have some bone to pick with you about some lines. I have to ask where they came from. Donnie, I have plenty to say up to Matt tonight.
Yes.
But let's get into the trade. Kyrie Irving goes to the Boston Celtics. And before we get into the particulars, where do you have them right now, Matt, Celtics, as far as futures?
So we're down to 8-1. We were 10-1 prior to the trade, and now we're 8-1 now. And I think our futures on the Eastern Conference, I think we went from 3.5 to 1 down to plus 170. And of course, with the Celtics dropping from 10 to 8 to win the title, I think we dropped the Cavs from 4-1 to 9-2.
Okay. Yeah, and I see a lot of people on Twitter, and I see a lot of people not liking this trade from a Boston perspective. I think Danny Ainge pulled off a beautiful trade. I don't really get what's not to like about this. You keep Jaylen Brown, you keep Jason Tatum, you keep your pick from the Lakers, you keep, you obviously get Gordon Hayward, you still get a player better than Isaiah Thomas. You would have to pay Isaiah Thomas a big amount of money next year. He's a small kid. He can't defend. You got rid of Jay Crowder. Big deal. I mean, what's not to like about this if you're a Celtics fan? I mean, what could you not like about this?
I absolutely love it. And look, I am a big Boston sports fan, huge Celtics fan. I love the trade. Look, I was never a big fan of Isaiah Thomas. My biggest fear as a Celtics fan was that Boston was actually going to be painted into a corner at the end of next year and end up having to re-sign Isaiah Thomas for a massive amount of money. Look, I love the heart and grit he had on the court, but at that height, he is a massive defensive liability. People talk about Kyrie being a defensive liability. Kyrie's younger, bigger, stronger, actually a better defensive player due to his height and athleticism, and he's under contract already. I think the Celtics really made out in this deal here.
Yeah, and Donnie, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us have been big, in particular in his drafting. Danny Ainge hasn't been a particularly good GM, but listen, I think this trade worked. It made sense, and you kept all your young players. You kept, Jason Tatum, who's clearly going to be good. Jaylen Brown's already doing some good things. What are your thoughts, Donnie?
Yeah, I mean, I have the same thought wave process as most people, but I did see a lot of pushback saying, who actually won the trade. Clearly for me, I mean, you're getting the talent right in it. If you're looking to make the NBA Finals, now the question is, can they beat the Golden State Warriors? I don't think anybody's going to beat the Warriors at this point, but if your next trajectory point for the Boston Celtics is getting over the hump and beating Cleveland, what's the best way to go about beating Cleveland? Take the next best player off the team and put him on your team. So LeBron's, Batman the Robin, no longer having Robin there. Now you would say that gap has really closed and maybe even a toss-up in the East when they go battle head-to-head.
And look, Boston bench, I think, is still obviously the better bench. Marcus Smart coming off the bench. You talked about the athleticism of Jaylen Brown. And if these two teams can equal up those rosters on the court a little bit, I've yet to meet one single person who questions that Brad Stevens is a better head coach than Tyronn Lue.
No, I mean, that's not even close. I mean, Tyronn Lue's a babysitter. I think we all know that. We know who really runs that basketball team. It's not Tyronn Lue. Tyronn Lue's just there because they need a coach. He's like, in those old sitcoms when you had a basketball team and they just pick some random guy off the street. I mean, that's what Tyronn Lue is. He's not going to ever win anything. Let's get into the fight. Obviously, that's the big talk this week. And then we'll talk a little bit of NFL or college, whatever we get to. Obviously, this is amazing to me that, the handle. Speak about the handle before we get into anything, Matt. Tell us about the handle and what you're getting out there.
So we're at about 4 million so far in the fight. And to put that into perspective, on the entire Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight, we did about 5.9 million. So we're well ahead of pace here. We think we're going to crush it. We're probably going to do a little bit more than double, probably in the $11.5 to $15 million range on this fight. So we're going to blow the handle out of the water that we did on Mayweather Pacquiao. What's interesting about this fight, and the reason that the line is so low, is it's not because of an overwhelming amount of money coming in on McGregor now, because that's been the case the entire time. In fact, when I left work today, 91% of the bets were on McGregor, but 80% of the money was on Mayweather. That really hasn't changed. What has changed is the operator's appetite for risk in this fight. 6 to 8 weeks ago, every operator you talked to was happy to have a $2 million, $3 million liability to McGregor, and they didn't want to get off any of it. 6 to 8 weeks later, what we're seeing is whether it's all the hype around McGregor, the sparring videos of Malignaggi, the drop in 2 ounces from 10-ounce to 8-ounce gloves, whatever it all is, doubt has crept in. And what we're seeing now coming from the upstairs, the bankers, the real presidents of casinos and big sports books conglomerates are, maybe we don't want to blow $3 million on week 1 of college football to Conor McGregor. And all of a sudden you're seeing this Mayweather line go really low, not because of an overwhelming amount of McGregor money coming in, but because nobody wants to blow $3 or $4 million to Conor McGregor this weekend if he should happen to win, and everyone's racing to get Floyd Mayweather money.
But Matt, you would agree that it would be a disastrous thing for boxing if Floyd. I mean, this is his fight. He's coming out of retirement to do it. He's fighting a guy that's never fought at this level. We all know that. But I mean, you look at the odds of previous fights. I mean, Andre Berto was 1-30, or if he was 1-30 against Andre Berto, Marcus Maidana 1-9, Maidana 1-6. I mean, where did this line come from? Where was this originating from?
Look, back when the talks of this fight were happening, everyone said the true odds, obviously using the example you just did, Floyd Mayweather's last fight, he was a 1-35 favorite going against a guy who's never had a fight. Obviously, he has to be at least double that. We were thinking 1-50 rather than the 1-70 range. Sorry, crazy cat. But what happened was I told people, I said, when we open this fight, there's no way we're going to open it at more than -700 or 800, because the simple fact is no one's going to lay money for 2 months at that price. You'll only get McGregor action if you open the fight that big. So what happened is everyone opened the fight around -1,000 or right away dropping it down to -700 within 2 days of the actual official announcement, because otherwise you'd get zero Floyd Mayweather action. You'd only take underdog action. And what I think surprised everyone was just how much underdog action we actually took. Everyone knew the $50 and $100 better was going to be on Conor McGregor. What we didn't know is the $5,000 and $10,000 recreational better was also going to be on Conor. And those liabilities piled up a little bit higher than I think anyone was ready for right out of the gate.
I just want to throw my 2 cents, Donnie, and you will too. I think it's to bet Conor McGregor. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that people are actually going, and so many people are going to the window to bet Conor. It's just amazing to me. It would be disastrous for Floyd. And I got to tell you, I mean, I think Floyd will clearly win. I think Conor, if Conor can just do 3-4 rounds, make it look honorable in a way, he's going to get a fight with Paulie Malignaggi coming up. You and I both know that, Matt. They'll somehow make that happen for another ticket grab. Conor will make another hefty payday. Floyd will be involved. They'll put Gervonta Davis on the undercard. It'll be a lot more money for Floyd in his marketing campaign. I just don't see a situation where it's all ticket grab. You mentioned it, the Malignaggi stuff, the 8-ounce gloves, the Floyd saying that on paper he can beat him. But I got to ask, do you put any stock into that story going around that Floyd will bet on himself? Do you put any stock into that?
No, and to be honest, while I'm not allowed to talk about any of our current bettors, Floyd Mayweather being one of our biggest customers, I know that we're his preferred location to place wagers. I will say this, he hasn't bet on himself in the past. And I would understand the rumors going around. It's a great publicity stint to say he's going to bet on himself. Hey, look, I'll put $5 million up on myself. But I've heard from people that are very close to him in training that he's superstitious. While he does love to bet on other sports, he's never bet on himself and never will. I think there's enough publicity on this fight, and at this point, only 4 days out, I don't know that the fight really needs that much more hype. I don't see the need for him to go out and do something he's never done before.
Yeah.
Folks are just chiming in right now. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Don. You got it.
No, I was just saying, folks, if you're just chiming in, it's Matthew Holt from CG Technologies. One interesting angle on this fight, just talking from a betting perspective, Matt, talk about what they like to say, the Irish invasion that's going to come over this weekend and maybe push that line around and lay some money down. Do you look for it as an odds maker or being an odds making entity to try to adjust for that? Or you just like to see how that money's going to come in and then adjust accordingly to that?
So there's two things about the Irish invasion that are both very real and very fake. So yes, there has always been an Irish invasion in Las Vegas when Conor fights. And due to the fact that we get so many big fights in Vegas, we've seen it, we've been there, we've done that. The problem is, and I'm not saying they don't bet that much money. What they do is drink a lot, make a lot of noise, do a lot of cheering. They love to go to the fights, but they don't necessarily show up in droves at the betting window. We waited for that Irish money against Aldo, against Mendez, against Nate Diaz the second time, and it just didn't really show up, at least not in the proportions that people expected. I will tell you what is very, very real in Las Vegas is the money team money. And if you don't believe it, you have to do nothing further than look at the Adrian Broner-Mikey Garcia fight just about a month ago now, where Mikey Garcia opens a -700 favorite, drops all the way down to -140, despite the fact that nobody gave Adrian Broner a shot at beating him. All that money was the money team money on their boy Adrian Broner. I know I've heard about the Irish contingency. I know there's going to be a lot of McGregor fans. I don't know that they necessarily all show up at the betting windows. I know who does, and that's the money team.
It's the British contingency in general. I mean, when Ricky Hatton came over, how'd that work out? All that big-time Irish money and UK money, it all got taken by the bookies. He's right. It costs a lot to travel from England and Ireland to Vegas, doesn't it, Matt? What does that put on you?
Yeah, absolutely. These are all normal guys. They're just fans. By the time they pay for their trip, they may throw down $500, $1,000, but they're not coming over here to bet $1 million. They have plenty of betting opportunities over there, some of which they can get reduced vig or better prices than we can even offer over here. So the idea of people from Europe, which has a very mature betting market, having to run all the way over to Las Vegas or the United States to make wagers just isn't a reality.
Is this the biggest sharp public discrepancy you've ever seen, Matt?
It's not just a sharp public discrepancy here. It's It's just unbelievable. I'll tell you, we're not getting as much sharp money as you would think. So we took 3 six-figure bets on Mayweather yesterday, and our liability on McGregor actually went up today over the last 24 hours. So, I mean,
it's literally every small bettor possible, and even decent-sized bettors betting McGregor.
Yeah, and some of them are unbelievable. I mean, one of our competitors down the road took a $150,000 bet on McGregor 10 days ago.
What am I seeing? What am I not seeing here that the whole world seems to see, and I don't? I don't know,
because I personally have a sizable bet on Mayweather. When it got to 550, I thought it had bottomed out, so I went ahead and played it at 550 myself. That's obviously a bad number now, but I thought there's just no possible way this thing could go any lower. Let me jump on it now, and then now, of course, I'm kicking myself a little bit because I could have got a significantly better price, but I don't see any way that Floyd Mayweather doesn't win this fight. I think the most telling thing for me is going to be the first couple of rounds when Floyd Mayweather it's not a matter of if, will land a couple of really big right hands on Conor McGregor. And Floyd has really bad hands. You know, his hands tend to break. That's why Maidana was able to put so much pressure on him. If Floyd lands that big right early and no trouble with the hands, it's going to be a short night for Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but other than an embarrassment where he lasts 30 seconds, he'll get future paydays. Donnie, what else do you have?
Yeah, Matt, just a quick question on this as well. I know we're talking a lot about like money line on the fight itself. Is there any prop bets that are coming in that are really piquing your interest, or maybe some sharp guys getting in, or just overall betting philosophy and flow? Like, let's just say, who wins in a knockout? Will they, go past 5 rounds, or what the over-under is? Any interesting action taking place there, Matt, in that market?
So interestingly enough, similar to the Super Bowl here, it's not necessarily the sharps that put you in trouble. It's the public that can put you in trouble in these mega events. And that's the case here, especially like you just said, with props. If Conor McGregor wins in the first, 4th, or 6th rounds, or wins this fight by decision, it is a massive 6-figure loss in the props for us, added to the fact that we'll lose $1 million at least to McGregor, and now you're talking about a really bad payday. So McGregor by KO in the 1st, McGregor by KO in the 4th, McGregor by KO in the 6th, and McGregor by decision, all 6-figure losses for us.
Wow.
That would be – I don't think you're going to have to worry about that, Matt, so I think it would be fun. Matt, where are you watching the fight?
Actually, one of my friends, Stefan Bonner, we host a podcast at the Palms every Thursday called The Final Round. He's a good friend of mine. He just opened a new strip club in Las Vegas called the Legends Room. Normally I wouldn't be at a strip club, but he's my friend. He just opened it, so I'm going to have to make it.
You have a legit reason to go to a strip club. Nothing wrong with that, Matt.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm sure your wife will understand. Are you married, Matt?
Yeah, I am. I'm married with kids.
I'm sure she'll understand that. I mean,
yeah, she gets it.
It's business.
It's only business.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's only business. So Matt, give me the weirdest prop bet. Have you received any weird ones? Like, what kind of prop bets do you have? What do you have there? I mean, you have everything?
So we put up a prop, just a simple prop. Will there be a point deduction? Because if we put up any props that get too out of control, we have to get them approved by the Nevada Gaming Control Board.
Sure.
But as long as they can be officially scored in the ring or on the field of play, they call, then we can do them. So we put up a bunch of ones that we could do. Will there be a knockdown? Will Floyd score a knockdown? Will Conor score a knockdown? And we did, will there be a point deduction in the fight, period. Really simple prop. Didn't think it would generate any more action than the others. But because of Conor's MMA background, there has been this unbelievable flurry of action. This is a prop that started out with a will there be a point deduction? No, minus 700, to where it's all the way down to a pick'em now, just due to a massive, overwhelming amount of public action that, Conor's going to do something. There's going to be a point deducted, and people are laying a horrible number.
Referee knocked down by a punch. Do you have that one?
No, we don't.
You don't have that one. All right, Matt, I got to ask you about some win totals in college football. And I have to ask, at CG, I'm guessing you do, your power rankings. That's how you come up with them, or?
Yeah, so every single piece of odds that comes out of our department comes through me first. So I usually check them, and I'm very active in season win totals. So what we do is in the spring, so for college football, we start around March, early April. It's tough to get all the information then, but we do the best we can. We try to develop early season power rankings, and you have to realize that we're putting out conference odds and stuff in April and May, so we don't always have who the starting quarterback is for every team or, kids that might transfer, but we think we do a pretty good job. And then we kind of let the market set itself, right? So I feel pretty confident in them every year. Season win totals is normally a loss leader for the book to drive in traffic. But last 2 years in a row, we've won on college. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, looking to make it 3 this year.
Well, you haven't had me at your casino yet, Matt.
Look, people say this to me all the time. Hey, you're an odds maker and we're all going to beat you. And I tell people all the time, being an odds maker is simple. Here's the simple challenge. Make odds on every single game, every single day. Let the best bettors in the world bet at those numbers every day. And, make money. That's all, no problem.
I got to ask, Matt, about Tulsa football. I got to ask, where did the 7 number come from? That seems ridiculous.
Look, I'm a big fan of Tulsa this year. I love the offense, but I'm also a bigger fan of the Memphis Tigers, and I think the entire AAC has gotten a lot better. Tulane's better. Memphis is better. Cincinnati's going to be better than last year. I know everyone's in love with Tulsa and that offense and what Montgomery's offense has looked like in the past and what the expectation is that he's going to do there at Tulsa, but the other teams in that conference are really good, and I think – outside of Houston and maybe Navy, who you could say may regress a little bit this year, especially Houston because their value couldn't have been any higher than last year, the rest of the league seems to have gotten a little better. I love Memphis this year, what they're going to do with the second-year head coach and Riley Ferguson. Tulane's better again. So I think, look, it's hard for any of those teams to really separate.
I think Tulsa's high. That's kind of what I was saying. I don't know who came up with 7. I think it should be 5. I mean, I don't see 3. I see 3 or 4 wins in the schedule, but what do I know? I'm curious to know where some of the numbers come from because I was on VSiN and I talked with them about it, and I was just curious. Some of the numbers
there, you have to, in order to make season win totals, you have to set odds for every single game.
Right.
And look at their very first game of the season. They're at Oklahoma State, yet they're only a 10-point underdog, which means basically they're telling you that they're less than a touchdown underdog to Oklahoma State on a neutral field for whatever reason. And I'm with you. Maybe this Tulsa team's a little overrated. But when you start talking about AAC schools, less than a touchdown underdog on a neutral to a very talented Oklahoma State team, you're talking about a team at Tulsa getting a lot of respect from bettors.
Interesting. Tell us some more things, Matt. What are you getting in on some of the college football? Any things you can let us know about?
Well, look, we put out odds to win the conferences really early in May and in June. We had everything up. So at this point, all the numbers are pretty much settled. It's interesting. So there's some really public versus sharp scenarios. Week 1, Florida State, for whatever reason, we have gotten 4 times the amount wagered over the counter on Florida State instead of Alabama, but yet bets made on account, which tend to be sharper bettors, 3.5 times as much dollars wagered on Alabama as Florida State. Everyone thinks of Alabama as the big public team there, but it's actually the Seminoles bringing in all the public money.
Yeah, Florida State lost 2 big offensive linemen today. That's going to hurt. Donnie, what do you got in the NFL?
Yeah, NFL action, just getting back to, obviously not as many teams in the NFL as there are in college football, Matt, going over some information, looking at, suspensions with Zeke Elliott opening night. Any line movements there based on anything happening in the preseason that maybe ring some alarm bells? Or how about you wait and see approach? Does Ezekiel Elliott win his appeal and play opening night, or does he get it suspended? I know in the NFL, outside of a quarterback or a star quarterback, lines don't move much based on positions outside of the quarterback. But anything piquing your interest at this point early in the NFL season that maybe see a little bit of an irregularity in there or anything different?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the Dallas Cowboys to me because interestingly enough, prior to the Ezekiel Elliott suspension, our biggest liability as of that second in the entire week 1 spread total money line was the New York Giants money line. We had taken more than $120,000 on Giants money line, ranging from plus 200 all the way down to plus 165. And we had this huge liability on Giants money line. Look, 2 weeks before the season, you shouldn't have $200K wagered on an underdog money line week 1 in the NFL. And that was kind of our position with the New York Giants. And then the Ezekiel Elliott news came. And it just got worse. It started to snowball, and suddenly the spread started getting hit. And the New York Giants, both money line and spread, are by far our biggest liability week 1. Interestingly enough, while the Giants are our biggest liability period week 1, mostly due to the money line action, our biggest week 1 point spread only liability, the Green Bay Packers, amazingly. And it's mostly public-driven money. 10 times as much dollars wagered over the counter on the Green Bay Packers as the Seattle Seahawks. The account action with the sharper players a little bit more even, 2 times as much dollars wagered on Green Bay. But, right now, a heavy amount of Green Bay Packers action at home, laying the field goal against Seattle week 1.
One other one, Matt, with Michigan. They obviously had a nice story come out about these players being suspended for Florida. Have you seen a lot of Michigan money?
So we saw a lot of early sharp money on Florida. I think some of our smarter bettors, for whatever reason, took a big niche to Florida this year. We took a lot of sharp money on Tennessee, too, in the SEC. A lot of people like that squad with 2 really solid lines. Despite the fact that they lose their quarterback, they bring back a really good offensive and defensive lines. And Florida was kind of that team. The offense was finally supposed to get on track. The defense is always there. And then it wasn't the entire players' suspension, I think, that slowed it down, but mostly Antonio Callaway. The fact that they didn't have a lot of playmakers on offense, you take away their best player in Antonio Callaway, it has slowed the action since. And now we're tending to see two-way action, both over the counter and on account on that game. But I can tell you prior to the Callaway suspension, it was all sharp money, all on the Gators.
Yeah, and Matt, questions coming in about for you. Anything you can tell us on Heisman Trophy? Anything going on there that we need to know about?
Yeah, I mean, this was a great race this year. Normally, out of the gates, you only have like 2 or 3 guys that people bet on. But this year, there was actually like a good group of like 7 to 10 guys. Jarrett Stidham was the big hot underdog play early going to Auburn. Jacob Eason, who was a true freshman quarterback at Georgia last year, also a really popular underdog selection. And then you have the guys that are just popular anyway. Bo Scarborough at Alabama, Lamar Jackson, the returning Heisman winner from Louisville, very popular. Oklahoma bringing back their starting quarterback, another really popular choice, Mason Rudolph at Oklahoma State. And then the obvious ones, J.T. Barrett at Ohio State, Sam Darnold at USC, just a lot of love for a lot of different guys. And this has been the most active Heisman Trophy betting market that I've ever seen since we started offering it about 6 years ago.
That's a good point you make. There are a ton of guys, Donnie, doesn't it seem like? I mean, just a ton of guys that can win it. I haven't heard my friend Mason Rudolph's name in any of that, man. I'm not happy about. But we'll see how it goes. Matt, I got to ask you something totally off the beaten path that I just want to talk about something different. What do you do for fun? Anything else other than sports? Seems like your life is sports. What else do you do? Anything else?
Yeah, I'm a big UFC fan. So when I'm not, we all get together.
That's sports, Matt.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, I'm a big into, I guess, youth sports, right? My son, Matty Jr., plays football. He's a left tackle on the offensive line, a defensive tackle on the defensive line, and a big power-hitting left-handed first baseman. So I coached baseball, Little League for a few years. Now he wants to do football, so we're into football. My daughter's into cheerleading. So between sports and the kids, man, that's about all I got time to do.
His son's going to be a young Rob Gronkowski someday, Donnie.
Yeah, headed to Bishop Gorman over there, I guess.
Yeah. Beautiful. Good for you. Bishop Gorman, that's a big school up there.
Yeah.
Good point, Donnie Wright said. Maybe he'll go to hopefully he goes somewhere better than UNLV, though. Though Tony Sanchez is doing some decent things.
Yes, he is. On the come there, yeah.
We got some Vegas questions. Favorite buffet? What do you got, man?
I don't eat buffets. Look, I always
neither do I.
Las Vegas has the best food in the world. I love Vegas for food. I would put it up against any other.
Whoa, Matt, come on.
Why do you got to eat buffets?
Not better than Philly or New York.
I'm not a buffet guy.
No, yeah, I'm not either. I know I look like I would be, but I don't like the buffets either. Maybe the better question would be the best restaurant. That would be a better question. Matt, give me the best restaurant.
King's Fish House in the district. So there's 2 restaurants in the district. They're attached to a station's property called Green Valley Ranch called Lucille's Barbecue. I love good barbecue. One of them is called Lucille's Barbecue, and they have one of the best seafood places in all of Las Vegas called King's Fish House.
Very good. It's making me hungry. Matt, I know they raved about you down at the IFBC. I know Donnie said some great things about you. I was sad that I couldn't meet you. Unfortunately, I'm not able to travel out of the country, so I wasn't able to be there. I'm an enemy of the state, so I couldn't leave. But I hope to meet you someday. Great stuff. It was great to have you on Fight Week. Enjoy the fight. And make sure you let us know if anything big going on, all right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll shoot you a DM if anything crazy happens. Thanks for the time, fellas. Have a great week. Good luck. Take care.
Thanks,
sir. Matt.
Talk to you soon. Appreciate it.
Fantastic. Yes.
Matt Holt joining us with some really good information, fantastic information. Great stuff on the fight, some good win total stuff. And he was right, Donnie. The Heisman Trophy does seem fairly open, doesn't it?
No, absolutely. It's wide open. Yeah.
So many big names. And I think you were right, Donnie, with the whole Giants thing. I was surprised to hear that was the biggest need.
That's what I'm saying. Jeff, we're gonna come back over the top with the Cowboys week 1 for us to save the day. Same thing with, we might want to wake up your boy Dia over there right now and tell him we're just gonna start pounding on the Florida line as well.
It's hard to. I don't know if you saw. There was a video put out recently. I don't know if you saw it, but
what's that?
Of the quarterback trying to throw to receivers. I mean, it looked really bad.
Yeah, I did. I was trying to get a little viewpoint of that, but it was kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, that's what you're going to get. You're trying to use that SEC speed out there, play good defense, maybe force the issue and see what happens. But I think Florida is a sharp side play on that one. Yeah.
I don't follow UFC, but it seems like John Jones fails a drug test every week. I mean, I
don't follow much UFC either, but yeah, it looks like that again. I think that's his endearing quality, is he's so troubled but still gets in the ring and fights well.
Yeah, amazing. Donnie, what do we have for baseball? Any good things going on?
Not too many good things going on. Let's see. Games that just got – it looks Boston is just plowing Cleveland 9-1 now at this point. Washington, Houston still 4-3 in the top of the 8th. Kansas City and Colorado 3-2 with the Kansas City lead in the top of the 9th inning. So something's heading down the backstretch. Nolasco 1-0 right now over Ross, and Nelson 1-0 over San Francisco here.
Donnie, have you – I don't know if you've read into the actual Hugh Freeze escort service story. Mm-hmm. But did you read into the actual crux of it, who he was calling exactly?
I think it was the only thing I saw was massage parlors and stuff like that.
No, I mean I've read into shit that he was literally calling Backpage prostitutes. I don't know if you know, but there's a whole seedy underworld of you can literally create an ad and you're literally in a hotel somewhere.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I don't know if you saw some of the chicks he was calling, but it was pretty funny. They were all they look like video girls, from a hip hop video.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Again, you're a high paid head coach, a high profile guy. Now, don't get me wrong. That's probably not the way to go about your business in the best way. But trust me when I tell you, out in the field in Los Angeles, movie stars, there are high-paid people that do that and keep it discreet. He's just dumb enough to just call randoms up all over the place, I guess.
Yeah, look, from my point of view, I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But, do you think it has anything – do you think these are for players, any of them?
No, I don't. I just think he's one of those guys. And again, the Bible Belt beaters out there are usually the type of people that do this. Oh, I have sinned and, all this and that. But usually the more you tell people how into God you are, the more, policy that you have behind closed doors is just way out of whack. Yep. So it's kind of funny that, because again, you see Hugh Freeze and the way he even got into Ole Miss. I mean, not too many people knew who Hugh Freeze was. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's pulling the #1 recruiting classes in the country, saying he's just outworking everybody. I mean, that whole thing was a house of cards over there as is, and it's going to crumble right down.
Yeah, I got to say, I mean, really amateur move to use your office phone too. I mean, how do you not just go out and buy a track phone? I mean,
yeah, or somebody else's phone that's not associated with the college. I mean, it's not really that hard to go out and go out your business. And that's just, maybe he was just hoping to get caught, and who knows? But what a crazy story overall.
I will say, even I know it's illegal and all, but I mean, prostitution is one of the stupidest crimes there is. I mean, it's amazing that people go to jail for it. I mean, it's what's the difference if I pick a girl up and take her out to dinner and have sex with her, or I just have sex with her and then pay her? It's my money. Why can I do what I want?
I hear you.
But I had a teacher in high school, Donnie. He's one of my favorite teachers. He got pinched a year ago for doing that. And they plastered his name all in the paper. He got fired and everything.
Was that the one down on? I know they pinched a mummers or club or one of those string band clubs that was having one of those John's night down there.
Oh, sure.
And they plastered those guys all over South Philadelphia.
Yeah. Dude, I got to be honest. I think it's stupid. I mean, it's just and it's funny. They always point when they arrest these people for doing this, right? It's usually in a bad area usually.
Yeah.
And they always say, due to the quality of life in this area, we've cleaned up prostitution.
Yeah. Just move them down to the next corner.
First of all, why don't then clear out all the drug dealers and clear out everyone else too while you're at it. You conduct who really complains about prostitution? I mean, unless it's like a school or something.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He called illegal boosters 300 times. Didn't think 10 calls to hookers over 3 years would even be noticed.
That's right.
That's a good point. Donnie, I got to bring something up. This is going to be a brutal, disastrous beat in this Nationals-Astro game. 4-3 in the fourth inning. They haven't scored a run since. I'm probably not going to hit the over. Another push night. Amazing, really, isn't it?
Hey, man, that's baseball and how it flows through. But, there's a full deck of cards again tomorrow, so we'll put our best work effort in and try to get it done. I'm just sick and tired. Like, I had a great summer so far, but these last 2 weeks pulling down some of my profits, which, again, we've all been there. I've had longer losing streaks than 5 games. I've had longer losing streaks than a week, obviously. So we'll see if we can pull everything together. Again, what's tomorrow, Jeff? Wednesday? So, again, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, almost pulled it off last week. Good thing is most people don't have to pay their book until the following, Monday or Tuesday, whenever it is. So plenty of time to get back. Not going to force anything. No 5-star bombs. No, I'm down 5 units on the week, so let's bet 6 units tomorrow and win it. We'll just fight our way back like we always do.
Comment of the night. If only we still had payphones in every street corner. Good point. Very good point. We wouldn't have to worry about getting caught calling cookers because it's a payphone. Are these guys on every day? Yes, Red Eye Bandit, you made some idiotic comments tonight, but yes, we're not on every day, but we're on most days. Donnie, last thing tonight. Any comments on this Robert Lee thing that ESPN did?
That's the stupidest thing I've ever. I mean, if that is a real story, which it looks like it is, I mean, enough with ESPN. If you
ESPN's become really PC lately, like over the last.
Look at what happened to him. Like I used to. What did you tune in the ESPN for? To watch sports highlights, and maybe they crack some jokes on some bad plays. Like that is what ESPN made all of their money on, and now they're just jumping over to another realm, which I don't understand it. Like I don't want politics. Like it doesn't matter. Like I'm more conservative, Jeff. You're more liberal. Everybody who watches the show knows that. Me and you don't disrespect each other. We have our arguments, but, we go in peace the same way people come in here and we live our life. When I watch football or I watch baseball or highlights, can't I just get that? Like I can go to CNN or Fox and have a debate with my family, but I just want to watch sports. Is that so hard to do?
But I don't really get why you would make the spectacle. I mean, I guess if it's like you watch the game and someone's like, oh, my God, there's a guy named Robert Lee on a Virginia game. Like,
who gets it? Exactly. Who's mad by that? Who's mad by that?
Like, why actually bring it up? Like, I don't really it's not my decision, but I don't know why it's even brought up. I mean, just who cares? Like,
no, and that's the whole funny thing. Like, if Robert Lee was calling the game, and another one I like to bring up also. So, the Baltimore Ravens, Jeff, their color guy. What's the play-by-play guy? Do you know what his name is?
Jerry Sandusky.
Imagine if they said to him right to his face, hey, look, you're not associated with this family. You just have the same name. We're going to have to let you go if you don't change your name. Are you kidding me? It's a name.
Yeah, I hear you. It's like that would be like saying like every murderer, anyone that's named, I don't get it either. I don't know why it's even brought up. I mean, just if someone brings it up and someone has a problem with it, at that point say, don't even address it. It's like trolls a lot of the time. Just don't even address it. Who cares? I mean, let them talk.
If somebody would have came out and said, I'm going to have a protest because this dude's name is Robert Lee. I mean, more power to you. I mean, that's just unbelievable, man.
Donnie, what are your thoughts here? Okay, first and second for Houston. Yeah. Marwin Gonzalez comes up, a 305 hitter, 21 home runs, a 928 OPS. He bunts.
Hold on. Let me get the game on.
Your thoughts?
I want to run this through again. Hold on. I didn't. Let me see.
Because this is probably not a situation where I would have bunted. But
no, you have to. No. Hold on. So we got bottom of the 8th inning. I got bases loaded with 1 out. Is that what it is now?
No, it's 1 out. Bases loaded, 1 out. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, so the situation was first and second. Marwin Gonzalez bunted as a sacrifice to move him to second and third, and then they probably just walked. Yes, I 150% agree with that.
Marwin Gonzalez, he's a 305 hitter.
You're down 1 run in the Oh, man, I'm going to run the show by myself. Maybe he's so angry about that bunt at 10:58 that he just had to get off the air there.
Yo, we there?
What happened?
I have no idea.
Hey, we back? There we go.
I have no idea. It just like froze on my shit.
Yeah, I don't know. That was interesting, man. Yeah.
Are we back live?
I think we're back. I think that was the eclipse. I think we just got hit with the eclipse right there.
Hello? Did we get sopranoed?
I don't know. Yeah.
Are we still on? Can someone tell us? Are you on? Are we on? Are we on?
We have to. I still see us on the screen right there. Yeah, I think we're good.
Can someone comment and say that we're on? I haven't seen that.
I still got the green light up and it's live. So yeah, we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what the hell.
I was rolling solo for a little bit right there. I got nervous. I thought something happened to you over there.
North Korea froze us.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
I guess we got to stay on to see if you can get a base hit here in this situation, huh?
If you ever quit SBR, just walk out mid-show and leave the camera on.
Yeah, that's what we might do. Yep.
Someone thought Big Man was Robert Lee. Oh, man. That's fun. Yeah, let's see what goes on here. Max Stassi up. This should be good.
1-2 count. Bases loaded. 1 out. All we need to do is put this ball into the outfield in this tiny ass field.
By the way, San Francisco's tied it up 1-1 in the second. They were down. Chicago's just continuing to add on runs. Donnie, I want to ask you something about Drew and I were talking about something today. He asked me, do you agree that when in football, like when Navy, the option's like rolling, it's impossible to stop, isn't it?
I mean, in context, yes. If they're playing in the AAC, I would 100% agree with you. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it as well. Georgia Tech. I remember a game. I mean, obviously, Georgia Tech's talent a little bit down from what it once was, and maybe heading into this year, depending on what they do. But there were times, Jeff, where I actually went against Georgia Tech, and it was like getting hit with 1,000 cuts, trying to kill me. I remember one game versus Pittsburgh with Connor, who actually got injured in the first quarter. Georgia Tech must have scored 55 points, and Jeff, I swear to God, they ran for 7 yards every single play, no matter what they did, man.
Jeff's voice always puts my 2-year-old to sleep.
That's I think that's a good thing then.
I guess hopefully when I have a kid someday, that same thing works.
Yeah.
And the kid doesn't wake up to the next morning. That would be preferable. Comes team total. Can't say it enough.
Double play, Jeff. Holy cow.
Fuck off, Donnie. Fucking unlucky.
Me, I went 0-3 tonight. At least you got some profit out there.
I didn't get any profit.
Now, what I should have did, just being angry out here, not having a good week here, but I should have just said, Jeff, let's keep this to a 20-minute show and let's get out of here. But no, I'm here for the people. We're here every day.
You can't
win or lose. Yeah, win or lose, man.
All right. What did everyone eat tonight? God, you fat fuck. Like, what did you eat tonight, Donnie?
I don't. You know what? What did I? Earlier, I actually hit Salad Works a little bit earlier today, like 3 or 4 o'clock. I didn't really have anything for dinner. I'm not a big dinner guy when we have a show at night. I usually grab something after the show.
What are you gonna have after the show?
I don't know. Something, whatever's up there, I'm gonna have.
Dude, I called Donnie the other night, right? And I say to him, like, he mentioned, like, I think I heard his wife, like, say, all right, see you, Donnie. And I said, like, what's she doing? And you were like, yeah, she's going out or whatever. And I'm like, what did you have for dinner? And you go, McDonald's.
Yeah, no, she got me McDonald's, man. Yeah, a couple nuggets and some fries. We were good, me and the kid. Yeah.
That's sick. McDonald's for dinner.
Tasty, man. You can't go wrong getting a 20-piece nugget out there, Jeff.
I can't eat that shit, man. Donnie, that's going to be it for tonight. Everyone have a great night. Thanks to Matt Holt for joining us.
Yep.
We appreciate that as always. We'll be back tomorrow. We get Roundtable 12:30, NFC South, Independence, Floyd Connor, whatever we want to talk about. We also have I'll be on at 3 o'clock for Premier League punters. I got and what do we have? Mountain West at 6 o'clock, and I have the late night at 10. So busy day tomorrow for me. Plus, Donnie, I got to go through the disastrous adventure up and down the Jersey Shore to try to find Adderall. I have my prescription here. I'm trying to see if someone will fucking fill it. That should be quite the adventure tomorrow morning. I'm sure that'll take hours on end.
Yes.
Because it's a controlled substance. No one wants to do anything about it. I had pastrami sandwiches. That sounds terrible. I'm not even going to repeat it. I can't get into pastrami, Donnie. All right, everyone have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Roundtable 12:30. Bye-bye.